welcome to another edition of Off the Top Movie Reviews. Today, the movie we're reviewing is The Green Knight, which I just saw like last weekend. Um, Unlike every other review that I've gotten so far, I am not gonna be shitting all over this movie because I really enjoyed it. Right. Let's get into it. Right. Spoiler alert, because I mean some of the things I feel that this movie did right are just liberties that it takes with the original Arthurian legend that I honestly didn't see coming, but I was very glad with the changes that they made. Right, so the story, the original one, has to deal with the Green Knight, and he has a game that he wants to play right around Christmas time, and Sir Gawain, or how they pronounce it in this movie, Sir Garwin or whatever, takes him up on his offer. It's a pretty good movie, right? Most of it just has to deal with, responsibility, honor, just taking responsibility throughout the whole movie, or at least the beginning and most of the middle. Sir Gawain is reluctant to say he's a knight, even though he technically isn't, but he's kind of a cowardly person, and he's just backing down from life. And pretty much every confrontation that he's in, the world keeps like shitting on him. All right, and then eventually in the end, he overcomes this. He decides to take responsibility, and he decides to live out his final days, sort of, with some semblance of honor, right? Which is a little bit different from how it ended in the original tale, right? In the original one, he had the sash and it protected him from any kind of harm or whatever. And so when the Green Knight try to strike him, he he was able to live past that. In this version, however, right at the end, he actually takes off the sash, and he actually decides to take responsibility for all his actions, and he decides to take the future into his own hands. It's actually relieving the way that they went about this, instead of you kind of get the hint, like, yo, if he's keeping the sash on, what the fuck, like, he's not actually like learning any kind of lesson, but he actually takes it off. um the acting in this movie was serviceable. It was pretty good. There wasn't anything like crazy that required a lot of range. Sir Gawain was pretty good. um Everybody did an excellent job, except for the fucking talking fox, which really creeped me the fuck out, right? So there's this fox that's following him like throughout the whole fucking story, right? And at the end, the fox actually starts talking to him. Now, you get the feeling like Sir Gawain was tripping on some shrooms or some shit, right? Like, this guy was not sober throughout this entire endeavor, right? But um, I needed like captions because I couldn't understand what the fuck this fox was saying, right? Like, I think at some point it was like, hey, why are you going in here? Now there is a moment at the end of the movie, right before the end, where Sir Gawain's like, the Green Knight's like, I'm about to chop his head off. He's like, no, no, fuck this. You know what? Never mind. I'm fucking out of here, right? And the way they did this is sort of like how Twilight did it, you know, where like they're showing you what's gonna happen, but these guys made it obvious that this is just what he's thinking. So they're kind of showing you what his life would be like if he, decided to shrug off his responsibilities and then, just go ahead. He became king, Arthur died, or whatever. And, this was all in his imagination, or just the way he was thinking about things. All right. Let's see what else. There is a couple of caveats, right? I don't recommend this movie for anybody that likes action, or if you think you're gonna see a bunch of sword fighting. It's not really what this movie's about, all right? This is a slow burn. Something I particularly like. I like these movies that have a lot of heart and that have a really good message, and at the end, this movie really delivers with its message. Um, the other thing is this movie is fucking like in the middle, it's really fucking boring. You know, I mean, if you're not into that shit, man, if you don't want to see like fucking Attack on Titan giants just like fucking walking around with like um absolutely no bearing on the plot whatsoever, you know, maybe you don't want to watch this movie. Maybe you want to watch something like fucking Suicide Squad or some shit, you know. Um, for me, however, I like that kind of shit. I like these slow, methodical, um, really thought provoking movies that you have to just take in. And, you know, right now, like, I'm still questioning, like, oh, okay, like, I know a lot of what he went through was just to kind of develop his character and show you that he wasn't really the most um, honorable person whatsoever. You know, he has a chance meeting with a saint and he ends up offending her too. Like, holy fuck, right? He gets robbed by some criminals or whatever. A lot of the times, you know, that fucking, you're just like, man, this guy's life is shit right now. You know what I mean? Then you know he finally ends up going to, like, if you know anything about the Arthurian legend, then it plays out almost like that with just a couple of things that really delve into his character and really deliver a message. So what would I give this movie? I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. That's right. I would definitely recommend anybody go see it. Go see it in theaters. Maybe take a nap first so you don't like fall asleep in the middle. That probably, or just drinking like a Monster Energy drink or something like that, right? Um, I would say this movie is definitely worth every penny. And yeah, thank you.